You loved that song yesterday, but today its name completely disappears. You can hear every note, but the title refuses to come back. You search your memory, hoping the answer suddenly appears. The harder you try, the further the song seems to drift away. Hours later, one random sound brings everything back instantly. Moments like this make many men fear their memory is fading. Some quietly wonder if something inside their mind is changing. But psychology reveals a surprising reason almost nobody expects. Once you understand it, these moments begin making perfect sense. The truth behind forgotten favorite songs is far stranger than you imagine. The strange truth is your brain rarely loses the song as completely as it seems. Instead, it temporarily loses the pathway that leads directly to that memory. Psychologists separate remembering from recognizing because they work differently. Recognition becomes easy once the melody reaches your ears again. But recall demands finding the song without any helpful cue at all. That is why the title often disappears while the chorus feels unforgettable. Your brain stores memories inside connected networks instead of isolated folders. Without the right connection, the memory stays hidden even though it still exists. One lyric, one guitar chord, or one familiar voice can unlock everything instantly. The forgotten song was never erased because it was simply waiting for a trigger. This explains why random moments often recover music you believed was completely gone. Your memory remained intact while access to it briefly became more difficult. The problem is rarely forgetting because it is usually temporary retrieval failure. Yet this still does not explain why songs you truly love become so difficult to find. The answer begins long before you ever try to remember the music again. Long before you forgot the song, your brain had already shifted its attention elsewhere. Your mind constantly decides what deserves focus instead of preserving every passing detail. New conversations, new problems, and new responsibilities compete for attention every minute. Each fresh priority quietly pushes older thoughts deeper into the background. Even songs you genuinely love can lose access when something feels more urgent. Your brain always protects what seems important in the present moment first. This system evolved to notice change long before it preserved pleasant memories. Thousands of years ago, survival mattered far more than remembering favorite melodies. Today, that same system reacts to deadlines, messages, and unfinished responsibilities. Your attention follows whatever your brain believes deserves immediate action. The song does not disappear because another priority temporarily takes its place. This hidden competition happens so naturally that you never notice it begin. The more demands your mind carries, the easier these retrieval failures become. That is why some men experience this far more often than others. The real reason has less to do with music than the weight inside your mind. Many men spend the entire day carrying conversations that never happen out loud inside their minds. Part of the brain is planning tomorrow, while another is replaying mistakes from yesterday. Work, family, finances, and responsibilities quietly compete for every piece of attention available. Even peaceful moments are often filled with silent preparation for the next challenge ahead. Psychologists call this invisible pressure cognitive load, and it drains working memory every day. The heavier the mental burden becomes, the harder simple memories are to retrieve quickly. Your brain keeps scanning unfinished problems because it believes they still need protection. That constant mental activity leaves fewer resources available for remembering small details. Forgetting a favorite song is often the symptom instead of the real struggle underneath. The deeper challenge may be a mind that rarely feels safe enough to fully rest. Chronic stress quietly teaches your brain to expect something important at every moment. Memory, attention, and learning all become weaker when survival stays in control for too long. This is why forgotten songs become more common during the busiest seasons of life. The good news is this reveals far more about your mental load than your intelligence. Understanding that changes what forgetting your favorite music truly says about your mind. The biggest surprise is that forgetting songs often means your brain is working exactly as intended. Memory was never designed to preserve every detail with equal strength forever. Instead, it constantly filters what feels useful, emotional, meaningful, or immediately important. Favorite songs often keep their emotional impact even when their names quietly disappear. Think of your attention as a spotlight moving across a crowded stage every single day. Whatever stands inside that light becomes clear, while everything else waits in the darkness. Your favorite song never vanished because it simply stepped outside that moving spotlight. One familiar lyric can suddenly pull the entire memory back into perfect focus again. Psychologists call this retrieval because memories depend on the right mental connections. Your brain remembers connected experiences far better than isolated pieces of information. That is why emotions survive much longer than names, artists, or song titles themselves. The problem is rarely weak memory, but an efficient system choosing what deserves attention. Once you understand this, these moments stop feeling like proof something is wrong. Instead, they reveal a brain constantly balancing thousands of memories behind the scenes. That realization also shows how you can remember more by working with your mind instead. The solution begins by helping your attention build stronger paths before memories begin fading away. Listening with full attention creates deeper connections than hearing songs in the background. Saying the song title aloud also strengthens the pathway your brain will later retrieve. Connecting music with places, emotions, or special moments makes memories easier to access. The more personal meaning a song gains, the harder it becomes to lose completely. Psychologists call this deeper encoding because stronger links improve future retrieval. Reducing mental clutter also gives your working memory more space to organize information. Finishing one task before jumping into another protects your attention from overload. Even short moments of mindfulness help your brain preserve important details more effectively. Small daily habits gradually teach your memory where to place lasting attention. Your brain performs best when it is not constantly interrupted by competing priorities. The calmer your mind becomes, the more easily forgotten songs begin returning on their own. Real improvement comes from reducing mental noise instead of forcing yourself to remember. You stop fighting your memory and start supporting the way it naturally works. That simple shift can make forgotten favorite songs become far easier to remember again. The next time a favorite song escapes your memory, do not assume your mind is failing you. Remember that attention always guides memory long before recall ever begins its work. Your brain protects what feels important while quietly waiting for the right retrieval cue. That does not make you forgetful, because it makes you deeply human instead. Sometimes, the busiest minds simply struggle to reach memories at the perfect moment. Once you understand this pattern, frustration slowly becomes patience and confidence. You begin trusting your brain instead of constantly questioning how well it remembers. That simple perspective can completely change the way you experience forgotten songs forever. Subscribe for more psychology videos that reveal the hidden patterns behind everyday behavior. You may understand your own mind far better than you ever imagined.